So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot second since we sat down and talked. I know. I also know these Friday videos are usually filmed in a different setup, a kind of nicer, more relaxed setup, bed. But it is so hot today, I cannot bring myself to move all my recording equipment over there and get under that goddamn duvet cover. It is so hot, I'm about to sweat my entire face off. But oh my god, yeah, it's been a while since I dropped in to do one of these kind of sit down talk videos, and there's so much to update you guys on. I'm sorry. Hope you've been well, first of all. Hope you've been doing good. I've been so busy with life and traveling and music and stuff that I just... Where will we start? We'll start with the music, because I was supposed to talk about this weeks ago, but I just didn't do a video. I just didn't do it. If you hear tap dancing in my background, that's my dog. She's currently napping on the floor, kicking out at imaginary demons. Same. Yeah. So yeah, as you guys know, I'm a drummer in my brother's band. They're called Latarian. I got asked recently, why do you keep referring to Latarian as your brother's band? And I think it's because they were around before me, like long before me, and I always just used to refer to them as my brother's band when I was talking to you guys, my audience, just to make it clear what the band's relation was to me. Do you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm the drummer in the band, sometimes I call it my band, sometimes I call it my brother's band. There's three of us. There's me, Sam, and Brendan. Sam's my brother, Brendan's our bass player. It's just, the phrasing around it is so strange. I never know what to call it. But yeah, I'm the drummer, and we put out a new single called Monument a few weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago now at this point, and I'm just so excited to finally have something to show ye. Do you know what I mean? Because we've been making these songs, we're working on a whole body of work, we're working on an album, and I don't know, we've just been working on it now for so long that to finally have something that I can put out and give it to you and go, here, go listen to that and let me know what you think. It's so fan-fucking-tastic. We're all so proud of how Monument turned out. I don't know. It's just, there's something really rewarding about having something that you can listen to and being like, that's me. Listen, I've been doing YouTube for years. I think it's because with YouTube, I'm in like complete control of it. Like I film, my filming schedule, what I film, my editing, everything is just me. I have no one else on board. Same goes for Patreon as well. So I think like working collaboratively with other people, is that a word? Working together with other people is just so much fun, you know, and especially when one of those people is my brother, who sometimes I feel like me and him communicate through like clicks and just general sounds. It's been such a fun experience, and to be honest, I don't think I've loved anything to the extreme and intensity that I've been loving drumming lately. I drummed when I was younger, quite a bit when I was younger, but like I never got hardcore into it, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just been taking over my life lately. So if you haven't yet, go listen to Monument and let me know what you think. Give us a follow on Instagram and let me know what you think. We have more music coming soon. That's all I'm gonna say, soon. But Monument is... It's a fun song, it's a sexy little song, it's moody, it's dark, it was mixed by Mark Saunders, who worked a lot with The Cure, and like, you know, Bowie and Depeche Mode and stuff. Crazy to be saying out loud, I know. I'm just so proud of how it turned out, so please go stream it, let me know what you think. It's hard for independent bands to get eyes and ears on us, so yeah, I'd appreciate it. I know I have quite a big audience here, and I know a lot of you guys are sweet enough to give a shit about my life and what I'm doing, so I'd appreciate it if you go give that a listen to. I think we're actually going back into the studio soon. I'm all up in a heap. My brain is up in the air, waving down at me. So that's Monument. That's our single. What else have I done? Now I'm blanking. I'm like, I've been so busy. Have I? I have. I just got back from London. Oh my god, I just got back from London. I went to For the Love of Fantasy last weekend, which is a convention at the Excel over in London, which, let me tell you, so weird being back there. The last time I was at that convention centre was for Walker Stalker, and I used to do Walker Stalker every single year back when it was a thing, before it went tits up. And I don't know, it was so weird being in that environment again, being in the building. I miss The Walking Dead so much, it makes me want to puke out my soul. But For the Love of Fantasy is exactly what it says it is. It's a fantasy convention. So there was an awful lot of Lord of the Rings cast there, but there was also an awful lot of supernatural cast there, and if you know me, you know. You know. So I went over with my brother. We actually left a week ago today. This time last week, I think we were in the cinema. We started, listen. I like to try and plan things. I like to schedule in fun. I'm that kind of bitch. We had to leave Limerick City at like 1:30 in the morning, get the bus up to Dublin Airport for our, like, I think it was like a 5 or 6 a.m. flight. And we flew into London City Airport, not Stansted or Heathrow, because the Excel Convention Centre is like back to back with London City Airport. So I was like, well, we can just stay in that general area. It's going to be a lot easier than trying to figure out buses and trains And to be fair, it was. It was very easy. London City Airport is tiny. It reminded me a lot of Shannon Airport. I've flown into it once before, but this was a while back. So we landed at like 9 in the morning, right? And check-in to our hotel isn't until 3. I don't know why hotel check-ins are at like 2 to 3 o'clock and check-outs are at like the crack of fucking dawn. Anyway, we had a whole bunch of time to kill before we could check in. So I knew there was a cinema at the O2 and I was like, why don't we just go to the O2? Because Satan's ballsack is sweating down upon us on this day. It was 30 degrees in London. My little body thought she thought that we'd entered hell. So I was like, we'll go to the cinema. It'll be air-conned, air conditioning, be nice. And it was. So we went to the cinema to see Fantastic Four, which I just love. But let me tell you a little side story about that. I think I robbed a poster from children. So we went in, right? If you've been to the Cineworld in the O2, you go up them escalators and our screen was in and to the right to see Fantastic Four. And they had this huge table with just Fantastic Four posters all over the place. And I was like, are we allowed to take these or are these like to buy? Do you gotta buy them? So I went up to the lad behind the ticket desk and I was like, come here, can I take one of them posters? He gave me the strangest look. He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, weirdo. So I trotted my little ass back down to that table and took a poster for myself and for my brother. Look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they gorgeous? I'm going to get it framed. I'm going to get it framed because it's just that fantastic. So we went in, we saw Fantastic Four. It was great. I nearly crashed the fuck out 3 times during that viewing. Hadn't eaten all day, hadn't slept. It was warm. It was a rough old time, but Pedro Pascal was on my screen, so I felt somewhat alive. But on the walk back out of the cinema, there was like a school tour. It was just children everywhere, and teachers trying to control them, and they were all lining up to take these posters from the table. So I was like, that must be why the posters were there. Either way, I still asked before taking 2, and there was an ungodly amount on that table, so I don't feel too bad. What did we do then? I think we just went back to the hotel and watched Judge Judy. My brother had never seen Judge Judy. There was very limited stations in the hotel, and one of them was Judge Judy's domain. It was Judge Judy from 6 a.m. in the morning until, strangely enough, 3 a.m. at night, and then there was a break for telly shopping. My sleeping pattern's so fucked up I can tell you the layout of the station down to the hour. So we went back to the hotel, put on Judge Judy, and I think we went to sleep at like 7 p.m. We were so ungodly messed up. Then we got up on the Saturday, and oh my God, it feels so good to be back at a convention again. So I had fucked up the tickets. I thought I bought us weekend passes. I didn't. I actually bought us a Saturday pass. So we got a Saturday pass and a Sunday pass. I bought the Sunday ticket separately for both of us. I don't know where that wristband is, but here's the Saturday one. Isn't it lovely? Not really. Although it's very on brand with Taylor Swift. Ooh, we'll get into that in a minute. So we go, and I met, who the fuck did I meet on the Saturday? To get my camera roll, can't remember. Oh, at the cinema they also had a thing to measure you to see if you're really 6 feet tall from the Materialists, which is a trippy as hell movie. I liked it. I thought it was great. I do have Pedro Pascal brain rot though, so you know there is that. So we get in, and it's fairly quiet. It was a busy convention. Listen, this convention was run really strange. Usually conventions there's like a big electronic notice board, or there's multiple different ones. At some conventions I've been to, they have like dry erase boards and they just update accordingly. This convention didn't give a fuck about schedules. It was like, oh, you have a photo op? Figure it out. Didn't give a shit. I had the app wouldn't load because there was no reception in the goddamn room. So every time you wanted to get the app up, you'd have to run out to the smoking area and then run your ass back in, which was like a fucking 10-minute hike. And you had to like weave your way in among Jehovah's Witnesses also, because someone thought it would be a good idea to plan a Jehovah's Witness convention at the exact same weekend that a fantasy convention was going on. So you had people dressed up like demons, actual demons. There was a lad on stilts that had huge wings. He looked sickening. He looked kind of like a demon, and he had I think his boyfriend was a werewolf. But you had them perusing the hallways of the con, and then you just had groups of Jehovah's Witnesses staring on in fear. And I'm like, fair enough. I thought there was a wedding convention on, because let me tell you, Jehovah's Witnesses, they know how to dress. Sweet Mother of Jesus, the style coming out of the Jehovah's Witness convention. I was shocked. I nearly went up to 2 different women to ask them, where did you get your dress? Because oh my God, you're stunning. So you'd have to plow your way through all the Jehovah's Witnesses and the demons to get back into the convention centre, into the hall that it was on in, like. But there was no like electronic notice boards or nothing. So the amount of actors I saw sprinting to photo ops that had been rescheduled or postponed or pulled forward was nuts. Where was I going with that story? I don't remember. But I can tell you, at 10 minutes to 3, specifically, I met Kim Rhodes, who plays Jodie on Supernatural. But she also plays the mom on Sweet Love, Zach and Cody, which is where I originally knew her from. Such a lovely woman, very kind. She wasn't super talkative, but I think that's because like her line was really busy. I did tell her that she was stunningly beautiful because Sweet Mother of God, her outfit, she was wearing a black top with a little black mini dress and lace tights, and I was just looking at her like, I'm jealous. I want what you're wearing. And then we talked briefly about 80s goth music, style and fashion, because she said she took a lot of inspo from that. 20 minutes later then, we met the absolute divine Ruth O'Connell, who plays Rowena in Supernatural, right? Now, let me tell you a funny story about this. I'm going to show you a sequence of photos, okay? Me and her, me and her, me and her, me and her. But if you look closely in the background, you can see my poor, God bless him, my poor brother in the background. This was not intentional. I don't mean to be mean. My brother doesn't give a fuck about Supernatural. He doesn't give two farts in the wind about Supernatural. He was there with me for moral support, bag holding, and also he had a few photo ops with the Lord of the Rings cast. So that was like his whole thing. But when I was meeting Supernatural cast, he didn't give a shit. So he'd hang at the back, holding my bag while I met whoever I was meeting, and then we'd leave the signing area together. But he just so happened to get trapped between our heads for this sequence of photos. And then myself and Ruth, we got talking about Ireland, because obviously the accent. I opened my mouth and people are just like, oh, listen to you, where are you from? So I told her I'm from Limerick, and then we got talking about Galway, because I think she said she'd family from Galway. And my nana is from Galway, or my great-grandmother's from Galway. I couldn't figure it out, so I asked my brother, who was standing behind Ruth. I kind of tilted to the side and was like, where's Nana from? And I think Ruth thought I was talking to her, because she was like, and Sam was like, no, I don't think she's from Galway. Her grandmother, or her mother was, so our great-grandmother was. And then Ruth turned to look at Sam and was like, who the fuck? And I was like, oh, that's my brother. He was holding my handbag in one hand and a can of Monster energy drink in the other. And I was like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Like, he's not really into Supernatural. He's just here for moral support. He has a bunch of other photo ops and stuff scheduled for later on in the day and for tomorrow. And she was like, oh, so how are you finding the con? And he looked at my handbag. He looked at his can of energy drink, looked at her and went, fucking great. And she cackled, and then she pulled him in for a photo. She was like, oh, get in for a picture. We'll take a picture with you, which I thought was so sweet of her. There was a Supernatural panel on that I caught, and it was really, 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 I just love seeing the cast together. They are so chaotic. Put them all together. You never know what's going to happen, but you know it's going to be good. Here is a t-shirt that I wanted so deeply but did not buy, and I regret with all of my soul. Here I am, day 2 of the conventions. This would have been Sunday morning. I was just really feeling my boots, and I wanted to get a picture and make sure the boots were in it. Do you love them? So we went back to the con for day 2, which when my brother had some ops, and I met DJ, who plays Garth in Supernatural. Delightful man. At one point in the weekend, we were queuing for someone, and DJ just started. Somebody must have asked him to film something for their friend, right? This light is too bright. It's a bit dull. There we go. He took the phone off of them and walked along the convention where all like the signings were happening, filming everybody on his phone, like vlogging. Sam was like, who's the guy vlogging in everyone's face? And I was like, no, that's fine, he's from the show, that's DJ. Sam thought it was just a random fan. They had some cool photo op areas. I feel like the photo op areas could have been a little bit better. So like this, for example, was a Supernatural little zone that you could take a photo, but no matter what way you angled yourself to take the photo, you were always going to see the convention center floor behind you, which was weird. This is a photo that my brother took. I love it. They had this random ass sign from the Vampire Diaries. I got to go to Tyler's panel, who he's in Teen Wolf. If you know Teen Wolf, you know Tyler. He was just, I thought he was a delight. I thought he was so lovely. I also got to see Vampire Bill. Where the fuck are my photos of Vampire Bill? So Stephen Moyer was there, who plays Bill on Supernatural. Jesus. He plays Bill in True Blood. And I started reactions for True Blood because people on my Patreon were like, you have got to start it, you're going to love it. So I did reactions for all of True Blood on Patreon. And I actually just finished recording the reactions for that like last week. So seeing him in real life was so crazy. Where's my photo of him? I do not like taking photos of people like from a distance, like a stalker. I think it's not cool. I've had people to do it to me before and it's weird. But it was Vampire Bill and I schnuck an old photo. I did. I'll own up to it. I schnuck a photo. I also schnuck a photo of Billy Burke, who played Bella's dad in Twilight. Oh, I also met Mark Sheppard as well. Met up with Mark Sheppard just to say hey and to thank him again because we did an interview a few weeks ago. It's very strange meeting with someone in person when you've met them through a screen. That man is an absolute howl. He is so fucking funny. One of the sweetest dudes ever. If you're ever at a convention and he's there, beeline for his stage. His table. Also his stage. He does panels too. So then from there, I think it was around 3 p.m, 3 or 4 p.m, we caught the train. We caught the train because I know how to use them. I know how to use them. I Google Mapped it and they told me exactly what train to get. So we went from Custom House, which I kept getting confused with the other one that begins with a C, not Custom House. It's a stop away. Canary Wharf. I kept getting the two of them mixed up. It led to a little bit of confusion, alright? But we fixed it. So we went from there to Tottenham Court Road, and coming out of the train station I was greeted with this immediately, which just made my soul giggle. At this stage I've met most of the Supernatural cast, yeah? I did Crossroads last year, and I did Liverpool convention last year, Liverpool Comic Con last year, where I met Jared Padalecki and some other Supernatural cast members. And like, I had a convention ticket. I'd be lying if I said I knew where it was. I think it might have been Scotland. But I had a con ticket because Jensen Ackles was gone, and I had a photo op and an autograph booked with him, and then he fucking cancelled. He cancelled. I know people's lives are busy, but it broke my fucking soul. Anyway, so we got off on Dean Street, and then we wandered into a Penny's, or Primark as it's called over there. We wandered into a Penny's, did a whole fuck ton of shopping, went back to my regular haunt, which is my new Love and Life Five Guys. Their chips are gluten free, and their chips are the best thing that had touched my mouth in days. Could have phrased that in a way that was much less weird. That whole trip I was running on nothing but fumes, excitement and Five Guys. Went for a look around Forbidden Planet, where they had a Fantastic Four light up sign that I did not buy. I put it back for some reason because I'm a fucking dumb bitch. I did buy a Gilmore Girls t-shirt because just before I went away I started reactions for Gilmore Girls. Why you bitches didn't tell me about that long before now, I'll never know. Okay, but I started reactions. I have the first 3 episodes done, and I think I'm going to be starting... I think I'm going to be starting to upload them sometime in the next week or 2 or 3 weeks maybe. So I've seen 3 episodes and was like, that's enough for me to be obsessed. Bought a t-shirt. But then one of my favourite parts of the trip was I went to the National Gallery. Now I've been to London a lot, right? This is like my 3rd time this year alone. But I'd never been to the National Gallery. I'd been to the Portrait Gallery. For some reason, never the National Gallery. So we made our way down there, and I got to see, oh my god, I got to see Van Gogh's Sunflowers. Van Gogh is one of my favourite painters of all time. I have a kind of a spin on Starry Night tattooed. I got to see the sunflowers, and I got to see his little chair that he painted, and there was almost tears. There would have been tears if there wasn't people doing photo shoots with the paintings. Now listen, I do social media. I understand wanting to get a nice photo. We were sitting in front of the water lilies, okay? We were sitting in front of this. There was a little bench. There was a girl there that was standing, and her friend was taking photos of her on a digital camera, as if it was like a candid photo. So her friend was, by the way, looking at the painting like, ooh, and her friend was taking pictures of her. And I'm like, go on, girlie, get it. That's a nice picture. But then she checked the camera. I was like, no, do it again. So then she faked looking at the painting again. And then they got the photo, and then she's like, okay, now swap with me. And then they did the same thing for her friend. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but if you don't move your fucking camera head away from this painting so I can just have a gander at it for 2 seconds, I'm gonna cry. You can tell how hot it is right now because my eyeshadow's starting to migrate down to my cheeks and under my eyes and turn under my eyes a nice silver colour. Isn't that great? I also got to see the haystacks. The haystacks at sunset in winter, mind you, which is my favourite haystack. Got to see the footbridge. I got to see this painting, which made me and my brother laugh, and to our credit, we were very tired. My feet were blistered. My shoulders were slightly burnt because of the heat. I was a little bit dehydrated. I had eaten nothing but Five Guys, a little thing of Five Guys chips in the last 24 hours. Caught a sight of this lad and just fucking lost the will to live. Doubled over laughing. Came home then and just like boom, it was just fucking Oasis right there. They were playing Dublin the same weekend that we were going to London. So like as we were coming, they were going. As we were coming, they were going. Did I just say the same thing twice? So that was London. Great trip. I fucking love London. I really do. I love conventions. I love going and meeting people. And I had a good few people come up to me as well and tell me that they love my channel and they love my videos. And I was like, oh, don't ever be afraid to come up to me, by the way. If you see me in public and you're like, oh my god, for whatever reason I want to talk to her, come up to me. I'm probably going to be slightly dazed and confused because that's my default setting, especially if I'm in public. I never really know what's going on. Come up and say hi. I'm not going to run away. Nice. Just had a random flap of skin hanging off my lip. It's the dehydration setting in. But yeah, it was a great weekend. The National Gallery was so gorgeous. The convention was so fun. I got to meet up with some friends that I hadn't met up with since the last convention I was at, which would have been Liverpool. We went then on Monday. We were flying home the Monday night, so we went to the O2 again on the Monday to go see Superman, which I've seen an ungodly amount of times at this stage of my life. But it was so great. Like, I had a little lunch packed. I'd made myself a potato sandwich because, oh my god, there's these bread rolls in London, right? They're gluten-free, dairy-free, wheat-free. They're free from everything, but I can eat them. And it's a good time to be alive. I made myself a little potato sandwich, put some potatoes into them, you know what I mean? I had a little green lunchbox for me because I'm such a fucking dork. It was great going to the pictures to see Superman with my brother, a little lunchbox. It was fucking splendid. What did we do from there? We went from Superman, back to Five Guys again, naturally. And then we got the bus back to London City Airport. And we vibed at London City Airport for a while till we flew home. Our flight was delayed and there was a hot second that I was like, please, 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 do not cancel our flight. I didn't know, apparently there was some kind of storm hitting or something. Flights were not cancelled, it went grand. When you fly with other airlines, you see how absolutely god awful Ryanair is. So we flew with British Airways, right? And they are just so chill, so vibey, so nice. Ryanair, they like rip the bag off of your back as you enter to the fucking airport to measure it. To be like, you owe us €70. Your bag is half a fucking centimetre too big. Oh, Ryanair. So it was nice. It was a great weekend. It was nice to be away. I got to see Jared Padalecki from a distance. Like I said, I met him last year, and it's quite expensive to meet him. It's like £150. So like I wasn't going doing that again. But I got to see him. It was kind of hard to miss him. He's like 7'9". Oh, I got to see Charlie Cox, the lad who plays Daredevil. He was there too. His line was insanity. So was Elijah Wood's. Yeah, fucking great weekend. I just loved it. But yeah, speaking of Gilmore Girls, which we really weren't, we'd moved on from that. Oh my god, it's like they can hear me fucking talking. I just got an email from Deliveroo. Oh, that's what I was primarily using while I was in London, to Deliveroo Five Guys to myself. Oh, they're listening. So yeah, on the topic of Gilmore Girls, I also started reactions for Dexter and Derry Girls over on Patreon. We're starting a whole bunch of new shows and new projects over there. So those are the 3 newest ones that we're starting. YouTube, we're going to be starting up Gen Z. Nope. YouTube, we're going to be starting up Gen V reactions whenever they start. So like next week or next month, I think, sometime in September. And Daryl is also starting in September. The extended version of them is going up over on Patreon because copyright kicks my ass here on the tube. What else is going on in my life? Oh, I've been looking for a lipstick that is a nice brown, not orange. Can you help a bitch out? I'm pale as fuck, I'm translucent, I'm ghostly white, you can see through me if I stand out in the sunlight. So I just feel like those orange undertones don't work well on me. They make me look kind of fucking freaky, if you will. But I want to get into the smoky eye looks and the fall fucking... Ow. The fall makeup, I want to get into it. But I can't find a brown lipstick that suits me. I can't. There's one of my favourite lip glosses in the entire world by my absolute Lord and Saviour. It's Fussy by Fenty. I like this, but I feel like it still kind of shows up a little bit pink on me. I have a few brown lipsticks over here. They all look orange. I don't want orange. I want a cold brown, a cold tone brown. They're hard to find. I've seen Revlon have some, allegedly, and I do like Revlon. Please help me. Neutral, very 90s, brown. That's what I'm looking for. Could be nude brown, could be dark vampy brown. I don't really care as long as it's not orange. Speaking of orange, Taylor Swift put out... well, she didn't put nothing out yet, actually. Taylor Swift announced that she has a new album coming out called The Life of a Showgirl. I think it's October 3rd. I'm so excited, I'm vibrating. I love her, I love the look of the album, I love the vibe of the album, I love that we've Max Martin and Shellberg back again. We're going to be getting pop hits. Bit my tongue a small bit. One thing I don't really understand, but I do at the same time, is these variants. These variant covers. The album was just announced and already we have like 2 variants, I think. 2 variant covers. And I'm like, I understand, you know, it's hard trying to sell physical media these days, trying to move albums. And collectors love collecting things. Look at me. I know more than anyone. So I get it, but like, so many album covers. It's not just her neither. Sabrina Carpenter's doing the same thing. Chapel did the same thing. All the pop girls are doing the same thing. I've just seen discourse online about that and about like the ethics of multiple variants or album covers. And I'm like, trying to get people to physically leave their houses to buy physical versions of things is hard. So I understand trying to prompt people and give them a reason to want to physically buy something. Not me though. I completely just like lost all common sense and pre-ordered. I think it was the CD. I don't even know what fucking CD it was. I think it was something. It was the one with a poster, I think. If you guys missed it, I recently interviewed. Brain just completely went no. What was I talking about? If you guys missed it, I recently interviewed Deborah Maguire, who was the costume designer for Friends. Such a lovely woman who had so many stories and like artistic takes on things. You guys know I love doing interviews. You know, it's probably my favourite form of content to do. But you guys really seem to enjoy my interviews and the chat style videos, which bodes well for me because I have a few more coming. I have 2 or 3 more in the upcoming weeks that I'm so excited to share with you. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely wild getting to talk to her. I mean, like, I grew up on Friends like so many other people. So hearing her just talk like so casually about outfits or characters, and I'm there like, I was watching this shit when I was 4, 5, 6. I still watch it. Really nice lady, very graceful lady. Complete opposite of me. She's very calm and very graceful. I'm sitting there twitching in the corner like, be cool. I don't have a cool bone in my body, I don't think. Although I have recently gotten into cutting the throat out of all of my t-shirts, and I think that looks pretty cool. Look at me. Fashionista. Well, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do now when winter comes in and like the top half is missing out of all of my t-shirts. That's it for this chat, I think, lads. I just wanted to touch base with you and fill you in on what's been going on over the last few weeks of my life. Like I said, make sure you go check out our single Monument. I'll link it in the description down below along with Latarian's Instagram so you can keep up with us. I'm so incredibly proud of that song. I can't believe that the drum parts that I wrote ended up like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember being in studio sweating my fucking tits off, getting stuck in the headphones and having to shed all of my jewellery because I'm a jewelleried bitch. Yeah? And they're loud, and my jewellery is usually very loud and makes sounds. So I was just shedding like a goddamn snake in the sun, shedding its skin. And the mics were picking up on that, obviously, so we had to get rid of that. But it's just crazy hearing like the finished product. It's the first recording I've been a part of. Like I said, Latarian have been around a while and they've put out a good few songs and a few EPs. But from Monument onwards, all the drums that you hear is going to be me, and I'm so incredibly excited and proud. I can't wait to share more with you guys because I know what's coming and it's so good. So make sure that you check out Monument if you haven't already. Like I said, Patreon, Dexter Gilmore Girls and Gilmore Girls and Derry Girls have been the newest reactions that we've started over on Patreon, so that's linked down below if you want to come watch those shows with me. I'm probably going to be going live on Patreon sometime over the weekend, maybe Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, for hanging, for chatting. I don't know why I went up 15 fucking octaves there. Thank you guys so much for listening. My Twitter and my Instagram, anywhere you can find me, is linked in the description down below. I hope life's treating you good. I hope you're doing well, and if not, it's okay, love. Don't worry, summer's nearly over. We're already into August. I have my Halloween bedding ordered and on the way. I'm getting the fuck rid of this summer shit. We are shifting hardcore into fall, even though I don't even yet. Do you know what? I haven't even celebrated summer yet. I don't think I've wore a single summery outfit. I've just been trying my best to survive it. Anyway, you can find me is linked in the description down below. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Patreon, my band's Instagram, my band's streaming pages. Thank you guys for watching, for hanging, and I will talk to you all soon.